Golf Smarter, number 702, by request. And stay tuned to hear your name called as the winner of a customized Seemore putter. The 2-6 Golfer is all about the takeaway, a simple and effective swing process with Terry Bradley.
This is Golf Smarter, sharing stories, tips, and insights from great golf minds to help you lower your score and raise your golf IQ. Here's your host, Fred Green.
Welcome to the Golf Smarter podcast, Terry.
Hey, Fred, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for joining me. You know, at the end of every episode, I request suggestions from listeners. And your name came up, and I went to your, I found you online, because someone just said, Tyrone Wilson said, hey, check out 2-6 Golfer. I think that there's stuff in there that you might be interested in, and I want to know more about this guy. And so I looked you up, and it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to write to him immediately. I want to know more about this.
Good. I'm glad, because everybody needs to.
Yeah. So let's get a little background on you and your golf life. Uh-oh. You're laughing already. What did I ask?
Well, it's amazing. My golf life, you know, I've been golfing for I'm 52 years old. I've been golfing for about 20 years.
Okay.
And for the first 15 of those 20 years, I knew I had more potential than what I was showing.
All right, you were a golfer.
Yeah, former basketball player. You know,
Okay.
decent eye-hand coordination. I knew that I could just kill this golf ball. You know, I knew that I could just pick up this club and just start playing. But you know as well as I do, Fred, that's not the case. And for the first 15 years, I was searching YouTube, searching, you know, what's this trick? What's this tip? Secret gimmick fix? What's the secret here? Because the guys on TV make it look so easy.
What was your issue?
The issue was
for you. I mean, what were you searching for to correct?
The slice.
Okay.
The slice.
Good.
I mean, the slice. I mean, just the banana ball, and you know, everybody says, "Well, I can hit it 300 yards, but it goes to the right." You know, well, that's not really 300 yards. You know, I think that's not really 300 yards, man. I mean, you know, it's got to go straight.
Right.
And that was kind of me, but I knew I had more than that. I just didn't want to be a hacker because I knew that I had more than that, and obviously wanted to quit the game numerous of times over that 15 years. You know, because I just wasn't feeling. I wasn't doing it. And I had 3 PGA lessons, not a knock on the PGA. I just had 3 PGA lessons. And when I first started playing golf, I was naive enough to think that the PGA had a set standard of golf instruction, that if I went to any PGA teaching pro, that they would all have the same talking points from the PGA. I mean, that's just how I thought. You know, that's just what I thought. But it didn't turn out that way. Each teacher I went to, they had a different philosophy. And I just got more confused. And I was at the point to where I wanted to quit until I realized that I needed to look at good golfer swings and get away from the teaching, get away from putting your hand here, firing your hips, shallowing the club, you know, trying to square the club face at the ball, loading on your trail side. So when I went to the TV in my DVR, I saw that good golfers weren't doing that. And that's what led me to trying to find out what 2-6 was.
Is 2-6 something that came up out of your mind after watching these folks?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
I first started out with simple swing thoughts.
Okay.
You know, simple swing thoughts golf. But, you know, I realized everybody can say they're simple. Anybody can say they're simple, even if they're not. And I thought I need something that really, really engages the golfer into my method. And that's where 2-6 came about. And the next question people ask me is, well, what does 2-6 stand for?
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But that's what happened. I knew I had to have a sort of a marketing logo, you might say, that actually incorporated what the swing was, what my method was.
Right. You needed a hook.
Yeah.
Right. And so you came up with 2-6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I'm sorry if this is a sensitive question, but are you a certified PGA instructor?
No, absolutely not.
Ooh, with emphasis. I just introduced a disease into your life.
That's come up. I mean, actually, to be honest with you, Freddie, is it Fred or Freddie?
Well, it depends. If you were one of my aunts or uncles or a professional athlete, it ends up being Freddie. But if you're a friend of mine or somebody I've recently met through adulthood, I'm Fred. Okay. So it's up to you. I'll take either one.
Gotcha. So what happened was, I've done clinics all around the world, all around the United States, every major golf mecca in Orlando, Myrtle Beach, Southern California, actually in I don't know where you are, Freddie, but I was in Palm Desert twice.
I'm in Northern California.
Okay, Northern California. Okay. And to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but if you saw my swing, you would think that I was a teaching pro. I've been accused of lying. I've been accused of being called a master PGA instructor. And I'm thinking, I don't even know what that means, but I guess thank you,
Yeah.
But I'm not certified. But to be honest with you, over the thousands of videos, over the millions of views on my YouTube channel, tens of millions of minutes watched, thousands of subscribers all over the world, nobody has ever asked me if I'm certified or not.
Well, I'm glad I apologize for asking.
Well, that's why, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but no, absolutely not. And I don't hide from that. I don't do my videos like, hey, everybody, I'm Terry Bradley. I am not a PGA professional. I don't even address. I get right into what works and what doesn't, and the issue never comes up. But obviously, no, I'm not.
I'm only trying to establish. This word's going to be sensitive here. Credibility in this conversation. Sure. Not that you're not credible, and not that you don't have thousands and thousands of YouTube subscribers and followers and people who are doing phenomenal testimonials to your work. I'm just, there's a level of credibility there. There's a level of education there that I'm just like trying to establish on where you're coming from, especially for someone who's only been playing golf for 20 years.
Sure.
I mean, I've been doing just not much longer than that. I've been playing, and I feel like today I'm learning things about the nuances of the golf swing that I've always heard but didn't really recognize or understand. And it's only now with this much work in it that I'm like, oh, that's what they meant. Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to expose anything here. I just was curious.
No. Well, yeah, no. And when I said absolutely not, I didn't mean that in a bad way. I just meant it because I come from the school of hard knocks, just like 90% of weekend golfers. When you see that the average score of a weekend golfer is still 100.
Yeah.
But yet they have access to all this information online. You can go online. I can go on YouTube right now. I'm at my desk. I can go on YouTube right now and try to find 100 videos on the downswing, but yet I can't go out here and break 100. Okay, if you were to talk to my network, and this is just the stats. If you were to talk to my network, I have golfers who come to my network who used to shoot 115 before they came to my network, and Tyrone Wilson was one of them. And now he got down to a 6-digit handicap.
Oh wow, good job, Tyrone.
Yeah, and that's just the beginning. So that's why I know what the weekend golfers need to hear and what they don't need to hear so they can be better golfers, because I'm just like them. I'm just like them. Yeah.
So you're doing this full time. This is your full time occupation now.
Yes.
Teaching golf.
I've been doing this for 4 years.
Wow. Great.
For the first 15 years, of course, I was just, doing it or just golfing. I discovered the method at 2-6 within myself, and I've been doing this for 4 years now. It seems like a lot longer, but yeah, it's been 4 years. It's been 4 years.
Well, you admitted your age earlier, and talking about how long you've been doing this, so you had to leave something else that you were doing that wasn't satisfying, or you just knew that this was your future. How did you pull that one off? And who gave you permission to do that?
Who gave me permission to travel the world and teach golf, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I was in home health, PT, physical therapy, home health for 20 years. So that gave me the freedom to do other things, like between patients. To be honest, these are questions I haven't had asked in a long time. Between patients, I would go to any field I could find. Any field that would allow me to hit a wedge 150 yards. I'd have my clubs in my truck, my balls, I'd go drop them, and I would practice for 30 minutes between patients.
Wow.
And through that development and through watching the tour pros, watching their positions, I was able to hone in on what the method is and not just the swing.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, as you're talking about how people don't break 100, my sense is that you're right. People watch YouTube videos. They watch the tour on television, and then they go out and try to mimic that, to try to, oh, I saw this guy make this shot on television, and the first time they'll ever try it is on the golf course during a round of golf.
Exactly.
So I think it seems to me that people just don't practice and are surprised that they don't improve.
That's a good point, Freddie. That's a good point. One of the biggest things that I talk about in my courses is what you just said. You cannot improve your golf game during the season.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. You have to improve your golf game in the off season when you practice the proper drills that evolve around the swing method, the 2-6 swing method. True story. I mean, because I don't have to. I'm so excited about this network that I don't have to fabricate anything. The last time I was in Grenada, I was in Grenada for 10 months. Didn't play around the golf. Was hitting a golf ball into a rock sometimes. Got off the plane in April of last year, had 3 clinics, one in Orlando, one in Jacksonville, one in Myrtle Beach. And at those clinics, I was striking the ball better than I ever have because I was doing my own 2-6 drills for 10 months in Grenada. And that's what I tell the guys. Guys say, and I have a lot of guys that, they jump on the network. They say, well, Terry, I got a tournament tomorrow. I said, listen. You're not going to do well in that tournament. I said, you're going to improve if you do your drills every day. And it's not going to take a lot of time. Do your drills every day around the process, and you will see your game, you'll see your journey increase. And that's what happened. So to answer your question, I see it too. I see when Johnny Miller or Peter Costas does a swing analysis of somebody, or remember when Bryson DeChambeau was doing really well last year. I saw tons of people on the range trying to imitate Bryson DeChambeau's technique. It won't work because they don't understand how to do the drills around Bryson. Bryson practices every day on this. They're just trying to do it on the range for 20 minutes, and if it doesn't work, they just go off frustrated. So that's a rabbit hole that needs to be understood with the weekend golfer. You have to understand what the method is, do the drills, and then your journey will increase exponentially.
Mm-hmm. And people probably don't realize that Bryson DeChambeau is playing single-length irons.
Probably not. That
has a lot to do with it, too, and you really have to understand your swing if you're going to do that.
Right. And, of course, Bryson hasn't been doing well this year. You haven't really heard from him. It just shows you how tough golf is on that level, but more importantly, how tough golf is even on the weekend golfer level.
Right.
To say, well, Terry, I tell guys, you don't have to hit 4,000 golf balls. Here's what I say, Freddie. You've got to do 20 reps of the 2-6 method drill every day. And I timed it one time on my show. For me to do 20 reps starting with my takeaway on the 2-6 method, it took me about a little under a minute.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But, wow. And you can concentrate fully on 20 reps in 60 seconds and walk away going, got it.
Mm-hmm. Or if you don't think you have it, then do it the next day for 20. Do it the next day for 20 reps. But don't move to the next drill until you got the previous drill.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And there's a series of drills. Excuse me.
Sure.
Sorry.
Series of drills that build on each other. Each drill builds on the previous drill.
And how many drills are there that you've created?
There's probably 6 drills that take you from takeaway through impact, rotation, release, and follow through. About 6 drills that build on each other.
All right. Well, I hope you don't mind sharing, because we're going to dig deep into those right after we come back from this wonderful message from a participating sponsor. All right, Terry, I really am curious about the 2-6 method, what it means, how you got there, and these drills that you've been talking about. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Well, the 2-6 method it evolves around the swing within itself. In other words, the 2 simply means that we have to adjust your grip to leveraged, and we've got to adjust your posture to spine centered. So everybody grips the club, everybody postures over the ball. But when you make the 2 adjustments, making that grip leverage, making that posture spine centered, that's the 2. And the 2 leads into the 6, meaning that the 2 leads into putting your swing in all 6 club and all 6 body positions more easily without you working so hard. So what I call it is, if you set up right with the 2-6 method, your swing is literally 80% done before you even swing. So you can control, think about this, Freddie, you can control 80% of your swing before the club even moves. And then, as it moves on the 2-6 method, we take out over 50% of the unwanted motion, the unwanted twisting and swaying that you don't need in your golf swing, so you can be more efficient and get more club head speed as you hit through the ball.
Keep going. I'm like, you've got me. I'm listening. Go. Don't wait for another question.
Well, I just had to be honest, I just had a member from Massachusetts. His name is David Koch. David Koch has been a member on my network for 2 years. I have not heard from David in 2 years, but David sent me his swing, and I might have to send it to you, Freddie. David sent me his swing, and you would think that he'd been golfing for 20 years, knowing exactly what he's doing. He just shot 73 during a casual round, and then he went and shot back-to-back 79s during the Pro-Am up in Massachusetts.
Oh, that's great.
And I said, David, I know you're on the network, man, but why don't you reach out? You got to understand, Freddie, my market is weekend golfers ages 45 to 65.
Perfect.
They're not teenagers on my Instagram that are giving me hearts every time I jump on the network. These guys are ghosts. They're ghosts. They're the professionals. I've got doctors, attorneys, lawyers, engineers, and they're busy. And so I'll get messages and say, Terry, man, oh my gosh, I just shot my best score of my life. That video you did, or that thing that you showed the other day. And Freddie, these guys I haven't heard from in 6-8 months. But they're busy. They're busy people. So me as an internet marketer, I had to understand the fact that I just got to keep putting out the content, keep putting out the results, and these guys will jump in. So getting back to the 2-6, you have to understand that leverage in your grip does not mean strong. It means leverage. And what we're activating in that leverage grip is the 2 bones that rotate in your forearms, called the radius and the ulna. And so you have to adapt your grip with your trail hand. Now, for right-hand golfers, that's your right hand. For left-hand golfers, that's your left hand. You have to adapt your grip on your trail hand to blend in with the loft and the offset of your golf club. So now you can actually use this golf club not as a golf club, but as a golf tool. And that's what gives guys the leverage and the effortlessness as they hit through the ball.
And it's different for every club?
No.
Okay,
All the irons are the same.
Okay.
But when you get to your 3-woods and your drivers, there's an adjustment in your ball position, but you still leverage your grip. Okay, you just don't turn it, and that's what we do with our irons, so we can match everything up with the offset. When you grab underneath and leverage it, and these are on the videos. You grab underneath with a strong grip. You turn the club slightly to the lead side, and what that does is that works with the offset of your club when you set up over the ball. But when you get to your driver and 3-woods, there's not as much offset. There's hardly any offset at all. So what you do is you grab underneath the club, you keep that grip leveraged, okay, but because your ball position is forward in your stance, you still hit through the ball with leverage. Your forearm still rotates because the ball is more forward in your stance.
One of the things that you have on your website, you were talking about when you were starting to play golf, people would give you instructions. Keep your lead wrist flat. Keep your elbow in, right? We've all heard it too many times. And just by you writing that, you got my interest even higher. It's like, yeah, I've heard that a lot, and those are problems that I have. I think are those problems that I have about my keeping my lead wrist flat and my elbow in. Are those things I should be doing? Are you saying that with the 2-6 golfer method, not necessarily?
Well, no, you don't have to, because what happens is, remember when I said the posture was 80% of your swing before you swing the club?
Right.
What happens is too many instructors, and this is what I ran into, too many instructors want to try to fix your swing after your swing's already started. I remember my first PGA lesson, I was so frustrated because during the first couple of holes I was doing decent, but then all of a sudden I would just fall off a cliff and just start chunking everything and hitting, slices and all that kind of stuff. And the instructor said, well, Terry, all you got to do is keep your lead wrist flatter at the top. I said, that's all I got to do? He was like, yeah. I said, okay, I'll try. I never thought. He says, you're breaking your lead wrist down at the top. I said, okay. So then I realized that trying to keep a flatter lead wrist was a teaching, but it didn't work because nobody was able to fix my center, because the flat lead wrist only works when you stay centered and you're not twisting and swaying off the ball and getting too much weight on the trail side. You did an interview with Tony Manzino, I think.
Tony Manzoni.
Tony Manzoni.
Yeah, at least a dozen, yeah.
Yeah, and I was listening to him the other day, as a matter of fact, when your network came across my desk. And Tony was hitting some things right on the head. He was like, well, you're not supposed to load weight on your trail side. You want to bend that lead knee down to keep the weight bearing on the lead side. And I said, okay, that's a start. Yes, that's a start. Wow, who is this guy? That's a start. But what happens is, and see, here's the thing though, Freddie, when a teacher starts saying you want to keep loading weight on that lead side, for some reason that's taboo in golf instruction. People just lose their mind. Oh, you're going to have a reverse pivot. You're going to have a reverse C. No, you're not going to have a reverse C if you create enough space and width off the ball with your club. The space and the width off the ball is what regulates not having the reverse C. And once golfers understand that, then they're more comfortable with the fact that they can load weight on the trail, on the front leg, on the lead knee, while keeping them centered. And then if you can do that, your arms will start to rotate around your center. Your body won't start moving with the club. And what happens, Freddie, is your body now starts to build resistance with your arms. Because, see, if you stay centered, you move off the ball with space and width. If you stay centered and keep your body home, your arms have to hit a brick wall, and they have to start moving up around the swing plane without you forcing them. And when they move up and around the swing plane because because your body hasn't swayed, now your wrist and your hands hinge naturally on the swing plane without you hinging them prematurely and losing power.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the results are
you don't have to worry about serving trays with your trail hand. I've heard that you serve a tray with the trail hand. You don't have to worry about how much your wrist hinge. You don't have to worry about how flat your wrist is, because it's the momentum of the resistance of the arms moving up and around your body as your body stays home that literally puts that club into place, because that club has never come off the swing plane. And if the club never comes off the swing plane, then you're able to get in all these positions more easily without thinking about it. So when people look at my swing, they say, "Oh my gosh, Terry, when do you feel like your wrists are hinging?" I said, "I don't." "When do you feel like that the trail elbow is starting to fold on the backswing?" I don't. I don't know that information until I look at my swing. "Well, how is that even possible?" I said, "Because I've already got the right setup. My posture is already centered. I got enough space and width. I'm not twisting and swaying." See, once you start twisting and swaying, Freddie, you've got to make up for that on the way down. It just doesn't happen. And the weekend golfer, when they start twisting and swaying, and then they start correcting on the way down, now the club comes over the top, and now they're forced to try to shallow the club. Now they're forced to try to square the club face of the ball because their golf club came off the plane. Does that make sense?
Yeah. This is really interesting. So so many have talked about the PGA being position, grip, and alignment.
Right.
You're saying this is all critical before you even start your swing.
Yeah, Zach Johnson said it best. There's an interview on YouTube with Zach Johnson, and I know that tour pros are not teachers. They're tour pros, because tour pros and teachers are different. Mm-hmm. But they interviewed Zach. And the interviewer said, "Hey, Zach, I know you play in a lot of pro-ams. What would you give? What's the most critical thing for an amateur golfer that you see in pro-ams?" First thing out of his mouth: the backswing is almost faster than the downswing. Tempo's way off. Mm-hmm. And then he said the other thing is that they don't understand that grip and alignment is the majority of your swing. He says all of us out here, if you walk up and down a PGA driving range, what are we working on? We're working on grip and alignment. The club's doing all the work. We got to make sure that we get out of the club's way. And that's what's happened. Like too many weekend golfers, they get in the way of the club. What do I mean? They rear back, they snatch the club up, they get no space and width off the ball, they get too much weight on the trail side, and now they got to spend the 0.8 seconds. The 0.8 seconds on the way down, they got to correct all that. And it's impossible.
I want you to flesh out the space and width a little more.
Okay. Spacing. I say maintain your space off the ball. And so when a golfer sets up over the ball, the angle between the club shaft and the forearms, that angle is about 144 degrees. In fact, I was at a PGA show a couple of years back, and there was a swing aid. And I like this swing. I'm not a big swing aid kind of guy, but I kind of like this swing aid because it kind of left that wrist set with the forearms and the shaft when you're over the ball. That's about 144 degrees. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Bryson DeChambeau eliminates that 144 degrees by lining up his forearms and the shaft in a straight line. Okay, so the average golfer, or I don't want to call Bryson an oddball because he's obviously a good golfer. But what I'm saying is the normal setup is when you bend the hands down and you have that angle is 144 degrees. We have to keep that shaft angle in place for the first 12 to 18 inches off the ball. We've got to keep that shaft angle in place. So you have to literally feel like a machine. Your lead wrist cannot fan open. It cannot be active, because once it's active, it's going to follow you all the way up around your backswing, and it's going to put your club too much to the inside. Now, now I know we didn't talk about this, Freddie. We kind of did. We kind of didn't. Do you want to know Ben Hogan's secret? I know why. Do you want to know his secret?
I sure do. Be the first person ever to tell me Ben Hogan's secret.
Exactly. Here's the secret, and I can tell you what his secret isn't, and then I'll tell you what it is. Is that fair?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here's what it isn't. Ben Hogan's secret is not in his downswing. Ben Hogan's secret is not in firing his hips. Ben Hogan does not fire his hips in his golf swing. But I can tell you what Ben Hogan does to set up his entire swing. When you grip the club properly with the lead hand, for right-hand golfers, it's your left hand. For left-hand, the reason why I'm saying that, I get a lot of feedback. Terry, I'm a left-handed golfer, man. Why don't you just flip it around for us? Okay, here we go. Right-hand golfers, it's the left hand, the lead wrist. When you grip it properly, base of the fingers, lead hand, there's a natural cup in that lead wrist that forms. It's natural. It's not manipulated. I'm not telling you to put it there, but when you grip the club properly with the leverage grip, with the lead hand, there's a natural cup in that lead hand. If you go back and look at some of the old Ben Hogan films, because it's all over my network, guys at 2'6" know this like the back of their hand. When Hogan takes the club away, that lead wrist does not break. That lead wrist does not fan open. Hogan leaves that cup in that lead wrist all the way back until it's literally past his trail leg. He holds that angle. His body stays home. He doesn't move with his club. As his body stays home, it resists the arms. As the arms move up and around the swing plane, he builds resistance. When you build resistance, you build power. As his arms rotate to the top, his body's still staying home. He begins to load his lead leg. His head stays back behind the ball. When Hogan reaches about the last 6 inches, 7 inches at the top of his backswing, his wrists are hinging. But Hogan has a severe wrist hinge. His wrist hinge really, a lot, top of his backswing. But it's set up by that lead wrist not inflecting off the ball. It's set up by the lead wrist staying in place well past his trail leg. That's the secret, because that's what builds the power in your downswing. That's what sets up your downswing if your body stays home.
I'm sorry, but I don't understand what you mean by the cup.
Okay. If you had a golf club in your hand, like I gotta always have a golf club with me here. If people picked up a club, I want you to feel like that the handle is gripped in the base of your fingers. So the tip of the handle, top of the handle is running through the base of your little finger. It's running through the base of your ring finger. And then it kind of runs through the mid padding of your middle finger. And then it kind of runs through the index part of your index finger. So basically, you're keeping the handle into the base of the fingers below your padding. The paddings are the 2 soft spots in your hand. If you keep that there when you close your grip and put your thumb slightly on the trail side, it feels strong. It's like a strong grip. But I don't want to talk in terms of strong and weak because that confuses golfers. So what happens is when you close your grip on the handle, as the club stays in the base of the fingers, there should be a little cup that forms in your lead hand. Do you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And wait, where's my thumb? You said thumb on the trail side?
Yeah, put the thumb a little bit on the trail side of the handle.
That means facing towards the target.
No, I'm sorry. It's facing the backwards.
Oh, okay.
The trail side.
Okay, a little bit backwards. Okay. Yep.
So now you've got the index finger there, so you're seeing your index finger. I don't care about knuckles. See, it doesn't matter. If you grip the club properly, like I'm telling you, don't worry about knuckles, because people get too caught up in that. Just keep the club in the base of your fingers, because we need the range of motion. Now, that lead cup that sets, that you see, now here's the first drill. We're segueing into the first drill at 2-6.
Cool.
You take the club back. Okay. Mm-hmm. In fact, don't even put your trail hand on the club yet. As you take the club back, you got to keep that angle between the shaft and the forearm. Don't let that wrist fan open. You take the club back. This is what starts building the power in your swing. It's a stiff lead wrist that will coil, that will hinge around the swing plane if your body stays home on its own. If you can have that natural hinge around the swing plane with your body not moving, you're building maximum power in your downswing.
Cool. Very cool.
I tell the guys, do this 20 times a day. Do it 20 times a day for the rest of your life. I've developed 2-6 4 years ago, and I still do it. I still do it before every swing. I make sure my lead wrist is not fanning open. See? And then as you master this, because again, Freddie, you know as well as I do, guys get over the ball and that lead wrist starts to break right off the ball. Yeah. Starts to fan open. But you keep it there 20 times a day, you're going to feel like the Iron Byron machine out in California where you are. Mm-hmm. You're going to feel like Iron Byron, you see. And then after you master this, then the next drill is not at parallel. I don't emphasize the parallel position because it throws golfers off. They want to get there too quick. We've got to get to parallel by maintaining the space and having the golf club pass through parallel as it maintains space off the ball. It's the spacing that you get to parallel that creates the parallel position, because this is the space you need to come down on the downswing through impact and release, and rotation release.
Fascinating. So interesting.
That's the biggest thing I've realized. And here's the thing, Freddie. This is not hidden on tour. If you go slow down Tiger Swing, slow down Rory, slow down Adam, they all do it. It's just that instruction, they kind of lead you into a false sense of security. They'll say, well, swing like Rory. They'll say, just take the club back. You cannot tell a weekend golfer to just take the club back, because what'll happen, Freddie, they'll get too far to the inside too quick. You've got to tell them, hey, just tempo it off the ball, go as slow as you can, and create that space, because you're going to need that space on the way down.
Love it. I like this. Very cool. Okay, so let people know how to get in touch with you.
Right now, they can. I've got a link. It's my workshop link. I've got it linked everywhere. I don't have it handy.
Well, what's your website?
The website is 26golfer.com. Well, actually, that is the link, because I've actually linked that to my page. If you go to 26golfer.com, you will see a free workshop that you can sign up with just your email address, and it actually asks you to put your email address in, and it gets you on my list, and you will actually get your first lesson as soon as you submit your email address.
Okay. And what is the ebook on your website?
The ebook's not separate right now. It's actually intertwined into the workshop. So as the workshop concludes, there will be options there to work with me personally one-on-one through video, or a retreat if you live in a city. Or I've had people fly over from London to my clinics. I've flown to London. So this is truly a ground. What do you call it? A
revolutionary.
Yeah, this is bizarre. When I say bizarre, it's bizarre because guys are just loving it. But the ebook is entwined in the e-course. It all works hand in hand. But the main thing is get into the free workshop, learn this. In fact, I'm going to Hilton Head next week to redo all the videos on the course, talk about the same things we talked about here. And it's just a beautiful program. No tricks, no tips, no secrets, no gimmicks. You will be a better golfer just by going through the workshop.
And what about social media? You active on Facebook or Instagram or anything?
Yeah, I am. My Facebook is Two Simple Swing Thoughts. Is the Facebook.com/Two Simple Swing Thoughts is my fan page.
Okay.
I post a lot on there. I've got a lot of testimonials on there.
Good.
And yeah, that's good stuff.
Great. And YouTube as well?
YouTube, yeah. Where am I on YouTube?
Hang on. It's No Swing Thoughts Golf? Is that it? No Swing Thoughts Golf?
I believe so. Let me get right here. The reason why I don't know is because I'm just so busy with the workshops.
Yeah.
Yes, it's No Swing Thoughts Golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, there it is. There it is, guys. That's me. That's me, really.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, Terry Bradley, 26golfer.com. Start there. And if this captured your imagination at all, then just keep working it and see how deep you can go. Sign up for his ebook, take his masterclass, and you'll get lots of benefits out of that too. Terry, it has been a real joy talking to you. Thank you so much for agreeing to participate today on Golf Smarter.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate your time as well.
Hello.
Dwayne.
Yes.
It's Fred Green.
Hi. Long time since we talked.
Yes. How long has it been since we've talked?
Oh, well, since we went to the Phoenix, we golfed down by the Phoenix Open, and so it's probably been 12 years, I want to say.
So, is this the Phoenix Open Golf Smarter group that was a big group that went together and you won, or were you part of that?
No,
I'm so
it was
trying to remember this.
It was the Scottsdale Chamber of Commerce had put together a prize package with you for tickets to a box on the 16th green.
Oh my gosh!
Their box seats up there and dinner at Morton's one night, and then you and I played golf. But you were in a rush that day to get back to get to your flight, so we got first tee off in the morning at some nice course down there.
But we did play together.
We did
in Arizona, and you won the tickets to go to the Phoenix Open and sit at the 16th hole.
Correct.
And that was like 2010?
I think it was somewhere around there. Yeah, I should look back. I saw it on my Facebook memories earlier this year, and then it was about the same time as I was signing for vacation for next year. And I'm like, okay, based on history, it should be that week. Try this week, and it turns out that I got the right week. So hopefully my wife and I are going to go down there and stay with my dad and go to it again.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. So how long have you been listening?
I think I started about a year after you started. And
so
then
like in
went back, of course,
2006 or 2007?
Yeah, because I was driving truck back then, and so I had lots of time to listen.
Wow. No, because I was just looking back in my spreadsheets and whatnot, and I found your name from like our very first giveaway that we did, and it was Tony Manzoni, this guy thing called Shot Watch, I think it was. And Tony Manzoni introduced us to the guy who invented it, and that's when we first met Tony Manzoni.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know what? I really appreciate you trying these contests and sticking your name in there, mainly because I just pulled your name to win a brand new putter.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's amazing. Been one of my weaker
you are
points
very
lately.
good at getting your name randomly selected. Obviously, if you're winning tickets to the Phoenix Open and then win a brand new putter, that's pretty good. So if next time you plan on going someplace where there's actual gambling involved, I think I want to go with you.
That sounds good.
Well, congratulations. I'll send you an email, and I'll copy the folks over at Seemore Putter, and you can talk to Cody or whoever it is that's going to set you up and get you fitted for a new Seemore Putter. And if you like it as much as I do, you're going to like it a lot.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That has been a weak part of my game lately, even though I don't know that I'll ever get rid of my old putter because my wife bought it for me for our 10th anniversary.
Oh, don't do that. Don't get rid of it.
It's like I may retire it, but I may
just, you know what? Keep it in the trunk of the car so when you go to play golf, it's like, of course I have the putter, but I'm taking the new one with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, congratulations, man, and thank you so much for your long support. That's really kind, and even when you don't have a chance to listen and come back and hear more that you hopefully learn from.
Absolutely. I learn a lot. Sometimes it feels like too much. It's like, oh gosh, I'm that far off.
Oh, I'll tell you, lately, that's what's going on with my game lately, is there's just too much information in my head, and I'm like stand above the ball going, now what am I supposed to do? And what did he tell me? And what did she tell me? And what is my body? Like, there's just so much information sometimes. But I love all the information.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, okay, which one am I going to focus on?
Exactly.
For me lately, it's said, well, since you sent me the link to Tony Manzoni's video, so I've been through the book and enjoyed it, but then trying to implement things without seeing it was different. And now that I see the video, it's like, oh, that's what he meant. No wonder I'm messing things up worse than before.
Well, oh, good. I'm glad the video's helped. That's great.
Certainly.
All right. Well, I'm going to go. But again, congratulations. And thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy your new putter.
All right. Thank you, Fred. I'm sure I will. You have a terrific week.
Yeah. Thank you, Dwayne. It was great to talk to you again. And I hope you enjoyed that little surprise. Well, you know, the response has been so strong to a wonderful gift that we've given away that we're just going to do it again. It's another chance for you to win a $100 Amazon gift card from our good friends at autoslash.com. Sign up now at golfsmarter.com. Click on the Enter Now banner at the top of the homepage. Deadline for entry is midnight Pacific time, 3 a.m. Eastern, Sunday, August 25, 2019. Your chances of winning are good. Sign up today, golfsmarter.com. You know, the holy grail for so many golfers is distance. Well, if you believe that pounding buckets or finding the perfect teacher is the key, then let me burst your bubble. The way to increase your distance is by fine-tuning your most important tool, your body. This week on Golf Smarter Mulligans, we get our very first introduction to Catherine Roberts of Yoga for Golfers. And in this episode, she provides us both with pre- and post-round stretches, yoga postures, and exercises that will help you swing the club with more freedom and less stress on your body that round. Swing the club with more freedom and less stress on your body for that round. Golf Smarter Mulligans is supported by autoslash.com and twoguyswithgolfballs.com. Get your free subscription for Golf Smarter or Golf Smarter Mulligans wherever you get your favorite podcasts, including YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and of course, Apple Podcasts. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please click on the Hey Fred button. I will respond to you. I love getting these emails, and I love having conversations with you. It's the Hey Fred button at golfsmarter.com.